Hi, I'm Meg. Welcome to Plant Fit Meg. Today I wanted to talk about New Year's resolutions. So I'm not huge on New Year's resolutions typically, just because I don't like the arbitrary date of setting a goal or doing a challenge or something like that. If I want to do something, I do it regardless of the day or the time of year. So I do think resolutions can be helpful to get people going and they can be motivating, but it can also be, you can do it any time of year, right? In the last few years, I have month by month sort of looked at what my goals are or what next challenge I want to set for myself. So I'm always kind of looking at that and reevaluating. With the new year coming, it's a good time to reflect on the past year, which has been a doozy with the pandemic and everything going on, and look ahead to 2021. So a few things that I would like to focus on this year are weight loss maintenance. I don't think I'm still continuing to lose weight at this point. I think I'm sort of in maintenance phase. So that's kind of new for me, I guess, and that'll be something I'll be focusing on. So to keep track of my weight, I will weigh myself. I will also take measurements of myself and just make sure I'm on track that way. This year, I also want to focus on finding balance, and I think that will be an ongoing and forever goal of mine, to find balance. And what I mean by that is balance mentally. So I do have the tendency sometimes of getting quite anxious and quite stressed, and then dipping to the other side where I get into sort of I don't want to call it a depression, but a sadness or feeling unhappy or dissatisfied with my life in some way. And so I want to find that equilibrium, that happy place where, I'm not leaning in towards anxiety and I'm not down in the dumps either. And I've gotten better with this over time, and I think a lot of it has to do with mindset and being aware that I can't control everything and being okay with that, and trying to take things as they come, and trying to be more like Chris, honestly, because he's so chill and he does just take things as they come, and it takes a lot for him to get worked out. I also want to work on getting stronger this year, so I've been lifting weights this year at the gym. I've been working on my calisthenics, doing different body weight exercises and body weight training, and working on my calisthenics dip bars. And so I want to continue that and really challenge my body and do more and just have fun with it. So now into the weight loss tips. These tips are based on my own personal experience after losing 80 pounds. So here we go. Tip number 1 is to eat more plant-based foods. So if you are already a plant-based eater, awesome, that's great. If you're not a plant-based eater, I would encourage you to incorporate more plant-based foods into your diet, particularly vegetables. You can check out my How to Eat More Vegetables video if you're interested in knowing sort of how to bump up your veggie intake. But when I first started a plant-based diet, I was not super keen on vegetables, and I started with ones that I enjoyed and then eventually branched out, but you can definitely check out that video for more information. I would also recommend substituting meat and animal products for plant-based substitutions. So if you're accustomed to drinking cow's milk, dairy, you can substitute for a plant milk, so an almond, soy, cashew, there's all sorts, there's oat, rice, all sorts of different milks. We typically like soy milk or almond milk, And yeah, there are lots of different options and flavors, and we usually keep it pretty simple with the unsweetened variety, but you can jazz it up however you like. You can also replace meat products with plant-based protein. So those kinds of foods would include beans, lentils, tofu, tempeh, seitan, lots of different options. And those can be prepared and made in a variety of different ways. I'll leave some recipes linked below that you can check out. Plant-based foods tend to be lower in caloric density and higher in nutrient density. So you're getting more volume of food and more nutrition, more nutrients in that food versus eating animal products and processed foods. This means that you can eat more volume of food and feel full and satisfied and enjoy your food and not feel, restricted or deprived. And you're actually consuming fewer calories because of the caloric density. Drink water. Make water your drink of choice. This can be a tough one for people sometimes if you're not accustomed to drinking water, but there are many ways that you can incorporate water into your day. You can start your day with water. That's what I like to do at the very beginning of my day. I will have, cold glass of water, or I will have hot water with lemon in it. And either way, any way that you like to enjoy your water is great, whether it's hot or cold or with some fruit mixed in like lime or lemon or orange. You can put cucumber in there or mint to jazz it up, and water is great. It's super hydrating, 0 calories, and it is the best hydration and best beverage you can consume for your body. Be sure to carry a water bottle with you and get your water in. You can set reminders on your phone to remind you to drink water periodically if you really do forget throughout the day. I find it can be a little more challenging in the winter time. In the summer, if you're feeling hot and you just feel thirsty more often, or at least I feel thirsty more often than the summer months. In the winter, I find I have to be more conscious and more aware of it and sort of remind myself, oh yeah, I haven't had a cup of water in a while. My next tip is to cook more meals at home. So avoiding processed foods, avoiding fast foods, and packaged convenience meals can be really helpful in your weight loss efforts. You might not realize how much salt, sugar, and fat is in processed foods, and you could eat those things from time to time for sure and still make progress on your weight loss. But really minimizing those things in your diet or even eliminating them for a certain amount of time just to allow your taste buds to readjust can be very, very helpful for your weight loss. Just because you're cooking at home doesn't mean you have to sacrifice on flavor and your enjoyment of your food. You should still enjoy and love your food and find it delicious. You can season your dishes in a variety of ways, use different spices, sauces, and really enjoy it. You can make the cooking be as simple or as complex as you prefer. So some people love cooking, they love being in the kitchen, they'll spend hours making the perfect meal, and that's cool. That means you're good, you're golden, you find which recipes you'd like to make, or you readjust the recipes that you already have that you're going to turn into a plant-based version, and you go to it. If you're not a fan of being in the kitchen, I can totally relate to that. When I first went plant-based, I was not a fan of being in the kitchen. What I did was I kept it really simple, really easy, and I just made meals that I was familiar-ish making that were fairly simple that I could throw together pretty easily with either frozen vegetables or canned beans, different spices, throw it in a pot. One pot meals are great if you can swing it. And yeah, that was really helpful for me in the beginning. I'll leave links to some easy recipes below that you can check out. And I'll leave my Meg's Mishmash meals, which are even simpler. I didn't even want to call them recipes because they're so simple, but I have a few of those as well that you can check out, which are literally just a few ingredients put together and super simple, super delicious. Track your progress. So I mean this in a couple of different ways. One is with your food itself. So track what you're eating in some way. You can do that with a food journal, so just writing down what you're eating throughout the day. You can do that with a calorie tracking, food tracking app like Chronometer or MyFitnessPal. I have never been one to track my calories specifically or track my macros specifically. You can do that if you would like to, but I have found success with weight loss without doing that. I have food journaled from time to time just to build awareness and kind of know what I'm eating and just be more mindful and more aware of it, because I think sometimes we eat things and we don't really think too much about it. We're just in a certain pattern of behavior, and it can be really helpful to write it down and then look at a day or look at a week and say, oh, okay, this is what I'm eating and this is where maybe I can tweak things and improve. Tracking your food can keep you accountable to what you're actually eating, and you can see the truth of what you're actually putting into your body to fuel yourself. The other way in tracking your progress is tracking your actual weight loss journey. So weigh yourself if you're okay with the scale, if you have a good relationship with the scale. And what I mean by that is if the scale will dictate whether you have a good day or a bad day, depending on what the number on the scale is, then I don't actually recommend weighing yourself. If you just look at the scale as a tool and it's just a number, it's just a data point that you can use to just see where you're headed and know that it will fluctuate a little bit up and down based on a variety of factors, then go ahead, weigh yourself once a week and keep track of your weight. Other ways that you can track your progress besides the scale are measuring yourself. So you can measure your bust, waist, and hips. You can also take progress photos, which can be really helpful so that you can actually see your progress month to month, or every 3 months, or however often you want to take photos. But that can be really helpful because you live with yourself and your own body every day. It can be hard to see progress, and in looking back at old photos, that can help you to see where you're going. Also, being aware of how your clothing fits and feels can be helpful as you progress forward in your weight loss, especially if you have quite a bit of weight to lose. Also, check in with how you're feeling. So, are you feeling energetic? Are you feeling sluggish? Are you feeling good and pumped and happy? Are you having a rough time for whatever reason? I think checking in with your emotions and with your mindset around weight loss can also be helpful in the journey. Incorporate movement into your day and have fun with it. So incorporating movement into your day can be as simple as, standing up and stretching in the office and taking a walk around, getting outside at your lunch hour and going for a short walk and enjoying the fresh air. Do exercise and movement that you enjoy and that feels good to you. So whether that's walking, dancing, running, yoga, swimming, sport, any kind of movement that you can do is awesome and is helpful in your weight loss journey and for your health as well. You could also challenge yourself. So you could do a 50 push-up challenge, for example, or a 10 push-up a day challenge, for example. And push-ups can always be modified. You can start with doing them up against a wall or doing them on a bench. You could challenge yourself to do X number of squats or jumping jacks, or knee raises and, combine a few different activities. Any movement that you enjoy, that you can have fun with, is awesome. And my bonus tip is to be kind and patient with yourself. Weight loss is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. Logically, we know this. Logically, everyone knows it's not just going to be an overnight, you lose all the weight you want to lose. It's a process. It takes time. So be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself in the process and try to enjoy it. Try to have fun with it. Find recipes that you enjoy. Find movement and exercise that you enjoy, and try to make it as enjoyable a process as possible. It takes time, and that's okay. Stick with it, do your best, and allow the process to unfold. It might not happen as quickly as you want it to, and that's okay. As long as you're making progress in the right direction, then you're golden. You just keep going and you'll get there eventually. If you do fall off track for whatever reason, or if you're struggling, reach out to a loved one, reach out to a family member or a friend or someone close to you. Maybe you have an accountability buddy or someone you can, talk to about your struggles or about how you're doing. You can reach out to us in the Plant Fit Meg community. You can leave comments on this video, chat with us on our Facebook page or on Instagram. You can DM me. Reach out to in other online communities and forums. Find support in different areas. We have a full video about how to find support on a plant-based diet, and I'll link that below so you guys can check that out as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and got something useful out of it. If you liked the video, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!